Okay, so what do you tell somebody that's at rock bottom? Like if you use all the stuff you just talked about, all your experience, what you've learned, what do you say to that guy, right? That's going through or girl that's
Hmm.
going through a breakup, they're going through some other loss, right? Maybe they're struggling with their career. It could be anything, right? Rock bottom's rock bottom. So, what do you say to that person
Yeah.
based on what you've learned?
Yeah, I think the first one, especially if you're going through that rock bottom, something just happened and you have no clue what to do. I think you have to grieve. Like I talked about that 1 to 2 months of just sitting on the couch, drinking nicotine, sermons, and books. And it was chaos, right? You look back and it's like, what? But that whole time was so important for me because I had to look myself in the mirror and face the reality and be brutally honest about it. And I think it happening during COVID was such a blessing because, again, I was forced to sit with it. I couldn't go out and do stuff. I had to sit in my room and think about it. And that caused me to find like the root of the problem and how do we fix the problem now? How do we go about this? And so, for anyone going through something like that now, it's a lot harder to do that because we're not in COVID anymore. But like force yourself to sit with it and be so honest. Like write it down too. Be honest with yourself because that's how change really happens. And especially if you're in a lot of pain, you know, and it's something that you might have even caused, like take ownership for it, but like look yourself in the mirror and be real. Be real with yourself. And so grieve, I think, is super important. Um, take ownership. Like, just tell yourself it's your fault. like, like take the blame. Whatever blame there is. Like, I'm sure you had a hand in it. Take responsibility. Um, I think now is probably a good time, kind of like I did, to question everything. If you're at rock bottom, you maybe are questioning everything, but really like do the work, question things, whether it is your career, whether it is who you are, whether it is what the hell the rest of your life is maybe going to look like in your future and maybe your past too. Like question all of it, and that's hard to do, but like don't be afraid of it. Again, like it's kind of a short-term pain for what, like the rest of your life, to actually solve the problem. Um I think, just kind of rattling off things here. Uh, I think on the flip side of like sit in a dark room and just fucking think about it, like the other side of that, because that you know don't do that 24/7. Something that helped me was looking forward to stuff. So like I said, like I would get pretty drunk most weekends, and I would look forward to that with my two buddies. It was an outlet. I would get outside. I would go for runs. I think just literally just get outside, go for a walk is important. Uh, but I would not every Friday, but a lot of Fridays, I would pick up a can of dip and go to the driving range and just hit balls by myself. And I don't know, this like those little things that give you that joy, right? I think it's finding ways to have fun. Like do whatever you want to have fun and find that enjoyment. Because when you're really going through it, uh, you need to find some fun, right? And so I think look forward to stuff, look forward to those things. If you're not in a lot of pain, I would say don't look forward to stuff all the time. I actually have this is a tangent, but uh, I think if you're looking forward to things too much, you got to look at what you're doing right now. If you're just talking about normal people and normal life, because like, all right, if you're looking forward to vacation after vacation and Friday after Friday, you're probably not liking what you're doing every day. Uh, and so that's for normal people that are not going through pain. But on the flip side, if you are going through the pain and you know what you're doing every day does suck because of this pain, well then, yeah, look forward to stuff, man. That's okay. Um, what else? I think talk to people. It's hard. This is something I did not do and still kind of suck at, is just talk to people. Find your best friend, find a parent, whoever you trust, a non-judgmental person, right? That you can just get things out to. This is what, like, if you're not that kind of guy, journal, right? But I think something with this whole idea, also quarter life clarity, to zoom out a little bit, is so many people everyone's going through shit. Everyone, especially people that are in their 20s, early 30s, like, no matter what, no matter how good it looks, I think everyone's struggling with something. And so knowing that, it's like, yeah, let's talk about it, right? And so I think when you open up to people, like the right people, people you're close to, you can realize it's really helpful. And not even to get somebody else's opinion on necessarily what to do or advice, but just to talk about it. And like, that's kind of hypocritical because I didn't do that a ton. I talked to you a little bit about stuff when I was really going through it, but yeah.
Well, I've seen you grow in the past year.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I know you did things, you talk about hitting golf balls and things like that. But I've seen other things in you that you've dove pretty deep into community, right? And you've met some really good people. A lot of them share your faith, and I've seen how you've got pulled into service and very deep relationships with people you kind of just met.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think maybe you can talk about how that all came about, because that is really one of the bigger things for healing inside is, the deep connections.
Yeah. 2025 for me has kind of been the year of community.
And serving.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of serving community, right?
I've, towards the end of 2025, I mean, in terms of faith, I've done it pretty much solo for years. And there's a reason that God talks about community in the Bible so often. And so I was like, all right, man, I'll listen. I'll finally do it. And so I did. And it's scary at first, but yeah, I've in just a few short months really cultivated some deep relationships with people that I've known for 5 months. And yeah, I think once you get into community, and like, what does that mean? It's, for me, it's like community through the church. It's hard to just get into community if you're not, like, I don't know how else to, join a run club or something. I don't know. Find similar minded people, and don't be afraid to be vulnerable in those settings when you do meet those people. 'Cause like I said before, everyone's dealing with it. And if I've learned anything from these first few months of community, is that everyone's struggling with something. And so we don't talk about it as people in like their 20s. And again, big reason for this quarter life clarity thing and eventual community. But yeah, I think who your circle is really matters, and talking to those people about it, about the struggles, about the pain, is super valuable.
Yeah, so I've seen you go from, almost isolation type of stuff, right, to getting involved in the community. And what I saw happening with you in that community is the community you got into, there were a lot of very open people that just were kind of already, everybody's in different development stages. So those people were very comfortable because they've done it so many times, opening themselves up and talking about their issues and making themselves vulnerable. And I think you being in that atmosphere um, helped you to get to that level.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're at that level, and now newcomers are coming in. I'm seeing this happening, and they're at the same point you were at when you came in, and you're opening them up, and it's a cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, and you realize that we're all the same in a sense. Everybody's different, but we're all the same. Uh, just to harp on, like, we're all going through stuff. And so, yes, like, community, I think, super, super, super valuable. And even if, just to flip it a little bit, talk to your current friends too, because especially guys, we have surface level conversation after surface level conversation, and it's great. You have a lot of fun doing stupid shit, going golfing, talking about the game, but your friends that you've had for a while too, like, and especially guys, I don't know what girls talk about, but I think they have deeper conversations than most guys do. But like, talk to them too. Like, I don't think you necessarily have to find a new community. You can just have the balls to talk to your close friends that you've been with for a while and like just be vulnerable. And one more thing I want to hit on in terms of, just, all right, man, like rock bottom, what I would say to do, like, we've talked about God quite a bit. That's super important for me, is my faith and rooting my identity in him. And so that doesn't happen, right? Let's go back to 2020. I was in a lot of pain, and so all that pain led to, I need answers, man. I need to figure out my purpose. What is life about? What's the meaning of it? And I seeked those answers to no end, and I got them. And I think, to maybe not even the person that is at rock bottom, but is just maybe coasting on autopilot like I was, just going through the motions, just life is life, and I work my job and have fun on the weekends and do it all over again. There's nothing wrong with that, but if you have that like urge every now and again that, like, man, there's got to be more to this, like, is this it? And especially when you look around and see everyone else is doing the same thing you're kind of doing, it's like, is everyone else feeling this kind of too? My answer would be yes. But if you're feeling that, fucking do the work, man. Like say no a time or two to going out or drinking those beers, and like, do some research. Like, it's, the answers are out there, but I think, kind of like I was, there's so many good distractions. There's so many fun things to do and all this stuff that we spend so much time on that we don't focus on, hey, what's the meaning of life in this whole thing? And I think everyone has those thoughts, but we're stuck going to games and drinking the beers and all that stuff. And I love that stuff. I do. But there's a time and place for each. And like, the answers are out there. Freaking ask ChatGPT. Just don't be afraid to do the real work and find some real answers about life, about yourself. And I think if you do that and are not afraid of what the answer might be, like, I think, personally speaking, that's where I found like real life.
Right.